Let me do a quick video. I got this question from a guy on Facebook about um, Tariq Nasheed had put it out. I saw it on Tariq Nasheed page, and I know Organic did a video on it. I just didn't watch it. I'm too busy, with other shit. And Tariq put out the mugshot, and it was basically a white guy spit in his black girlfriend's face because she wanted to have like cosplay or role play, and basically she wanted to have like ghetto gagging sex. And this is one of them thugged up white dudes, kind of like listen to rap music, maybe grew up in the hood, one of those like John B kind of white dude. He a hood white boy. And most of my hood white friends, these dudes kind of like don't really know how to do shit like that. If you're an alt-right guy, you're a Republican, you probably have in-depth knowledge on how to do sexual role play and call black women you goddamn nigger and some ghetto gagging shit. If you're like a hood white dude to smoke herb, listen to rap, you dress fresh, you got the little white tee on, listen to Rick Ross, you ain't got no clue how to get off on that. And more likely, he probably don't even get off on stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He probably just like ass and twerking like every other dude does. So I've seen this kind of bedwench stuff before. But this is my first time ever hearing of the guy like being turned off by the request, because most guys ain't got no problem putting a dog leash on a girl and giving her the old in out. But at the end of the day, or some Clockwork Orange shit, I just I had enough of these black chicks, bro. And the sad thing about it is these girls, and this is what I find interesting. It's the interesting part. I've dated black chicks who kind of exclusively date white guys, and even had a black girl tell me, she said, "Man, you're so funny. If you were white, I'd be happy." I literally had a black chick tell me that, which means they have no problem, like getting, like sex with a black guy, but they want the love, the acceptance, the validation from the white guy. They'll during a dry spell lay down with a brother, but as far as them wanting like the real nasty, come in my face kind of sex, like the real, the gutter sex, they want that from the white guy. And I realized like how true this was once the TV show Scandal got famous, and this Olivia Pope shit. Women like been fantasizing about this for like ever since it came out, and I don't know like why it's been like that. I mean, I know that it's a matter of you kind of really can't have what you want, so you want it even more. And black women have always had sexual access to white men. They didn't want it back like during Def Jam, like right around when Def Jam was on HBO, about that time, when all the black comedians had first started. It was like Wesley Snipes was on TV and on different movies like Jungle Fever and shit, and Wesley Snipes was smashing like mad white chicks, and you never seen any videos other than Monsters Ball when Billy Bob Thornton had sex with Halle Berry, and it was like the most graphic sex scene like ever. It almost got like an NC-17 rating. That Monsters Ball was like that nasty, and he was like, oh, he threw up after he had sex with Halle Berry. Like the whole idea of getting like that into it like made him sick to his stomach. And I recall Halle Berry telling all these stories where they would be dating these white guys, and white dudes would be like, you nigger bitch, you black nigger bitch, and they'll still stick with the guy. And I don't know like how or why it's like that with black women, but I've had one white girl call me the N-word, but it was only like after we broke up. And she was like, F you, you fucking nigger. And she got in the car and peeled off. But during sex, I never had her pull like a Dave Chappelle, like, oh my God, I want your nigger cocks squirting my face. I never had like a girl. I mean, my dick would probably just go limp on that moment in time. But I do know of many black women who I've dated who have had sex with white guys, and they would get like right to the borderline of getting like, like orgasmic with certain acts. But I can tell in my head, and as a man, if you had some really good pussy, some good sex in your life, you can kind of tell when your girl holding back. And you can tell that if you were a different type of guy, she would go all in with you. this is that kind of black chick where they don't mind the choking, slap me around, call me a bitch. They don't really mind it, but just not with you, because you're the wrong skin color. And what black women have known ever since slavery days, that black women have been fetishized by white men and not fantasized by white men. For example, you look at Kim Kardashian or Marilyn Monroe or somebody like that, where you would have, or even the black lady who played Catwoman with the fucking Eartha Kitt, I think. They was telling these stories where Humphrey Bogart and all these different guys, like these, you know, top actor guys, would use them as sex objects, but use the white women as sex symbols, which is why Marilyn Monroe was a dopehead thought. But they still got her. I sell Marilyn Monroe artwork. Some of my top selling artwork is Marilyn Monroe. And she was like a, you know, they tossed her around. She was a thought. They passed her around. She was like the first original Tatiana, and they was passing her around, but she's a sex symbol. Certain black women are just sex objects, and they all know that. And for some of them, that's fine. I'll settle for that. As long as I can be the sex symbol for a white dude, that's all that matter. I remember Cola Booth is a black African woman, some kind of model, I think, but she's a feminist, and she even said it. She said, "I would rather be the dirt under a white man's shoe than to be a slut in a black man's bed," or something crazy like that. And she's like, "Yeah, I would let a white man do all this stuff to me, spit on me. I would rather be the dirt under his shoe, but I would never be any of that to a black man." And I knew that for a fact. I've had black women who kind of like are intelligent, who are from affluent families, tell me that their family, like the mom would always whisper to them, "You can have sex with a black man, but just if you want a future and you want success, get you a white guy and let them do stuff to you." And
take the ticket.
I'm just shocked that this is the first case I've ever seen where the white guy was like, "Oh no, baby, I can't do that. God don't like ugly." I'm not, you know, I wasn't raised to think this way. And if you see the picture of the black girl, she looks like a regular woman. That's the interesting part. That a lot of time when you see these black chicks who are into the ghetto gagging and the white guys beating them up and spanking them on the ass and whooping their ass or what have you, they're really weirdo. They biracial, they weirdos. They have like, you know, like the frizzy hair, and they try their best to make themselves look as white as possible and or as harmless as possible to make the white dude comfortable with them. The black girl I'm talking about, the one that told me, she said, the one who said, "I wish you were a white guy because you're so fun to be with." This girl was one of those weirdo black chicks who was into cosplay, into comic books, into, you know, punk rock music and stuff like that. But she was a total bedwench. And I guess because I'm a decent looking black dude, I listen to heavy metal myself. I'm just not a coon. So she's like, "Well, you like a Dave Chappelle. You like in between, like an in between black dude. You're safe and dangerous enough to be sexy, but not like a coon enough to be like, you know, like a sellout." So and that's kind of like how she phrased it, kind of, sort of. But I understand the point she was making. But at the end of the day, that's just my opinion on that girl, bro. That shit is hilarious. You know, this is like a case that went viral because this is the one white guy was like, "Man, fuck that shit, dog. I ain't into that slavery shit." Anyway, hit like, share, and subscribe. Hit the alert bell, things of that nature, so on and so forth. Share the video with apes, alligators, coons, and possums, and I'm out of here.